Get Bryce Young in there behind Geno Smith, learn for a little bit, then take over. Would love it. He is the Chris Paul of quarterbacks. Point God Bryce Young. What's going down, y'all? It's your boy Ray G, content creator for the Draft Network. And I'm excited to dive into Brentley Weissman's V2 of his 2023 NFL mock draft. We got 4 quarterbacks inside the top 10. We got a wide receiver inside the top 5. We gotta talk about it, baby. 4 weeks of the NFL season in the books, 5 weeks of the college season in the books. Some things are starting to take shape. We gotta see some changes here. Are we gonna see a new king at the top at the quarterback, or are we gonna see the same old Bichon Robinson to the Philadelphia Eagles? I hope not. Now, I did cheat and look at this mock, unlike I did last time. Kind of know where the players land, but it's all good. We're going to talk about the offensive players for fantasy football purposes. So if you want to read the whole mock, which I encourage you do, tap the link in the description, hit that up, and make sure you're following Brentley on Twitter at Brentley12, Brentley12 on Twitter. I'm glad that you're tapped in. Strap in. Let's talk it out. Brentley Weissman's V2 2023 NFL mock draft, fantasy edition. Let's get it. All right, let's pull up his mock and talk about the first quarterback off of the board, Bryce Young to the Seattle Seahawks. Love it. Top-rated quarterback in this class. I know he got injured versus Arkansas, shoulder injury. It's not going to impact his draft capital, anything that has to do with next season. He'll be fine, or he should be fine. I'm not a doctor, but I believe Bryce Young will be fine. What's awesome about this fit is Seattle, it seems like they hit a really good home run with Charles Cross, the offensive tackle out of Mississippi State. Abe Lucas is playing well on the other side. Geno Smith is balling right now. Highest completion percentage in NFL history through this point of an NFL season. Now, I don't expect Geno Smith to continue that for the course of the season. But if he can play 75% of what he's doing right now, and Seattle brings him back as a bridge quarterback, it could put Bryce in a position to where he doesn't have to be thrown into the fire from day one. He can learn, mature, grow, develop behind a professional in Geno Smith. Learn from Geno. I think this would be a phenomenal fit. I know a lot of people don't like Pete Carroll, but let's talk about what Seattle has. They've got 2 good young tackles. They've got a stud wide receiver in DK Metcalf, and they've got a solid running game in Rashad Penny and Kenneth Walker. I like the pieces. I like the tools around Bryce Young. Sign me up. Bryce Young to Seattle. I'm all in on that one. Now, the Atlanta Falcons at number 3, thank you, because they need one more than anybody. They select C.J. Stroud, the quarterback out of Ohio State. I don't care who it is. C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Bryce Young. Just get somebody in the building that can throw the ball downfield. Marcus Mariota was so bad. He threw an interception, and Arthur Smith and company said, you ain't throwing anymore. 14 straight runs for the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday versus the Cleveland Browns. It's really hurting Kyle Pitts and Drake London for fantasy. They need a distributor of the football. C.J. Stroud playing some of the best football in college football this fall. Love the fit for Atlanta. Let's get C.J. Stroud paired up with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Now, at number 5, I don't want to upset you Chicago Bears fans, but Brentley has Jordan Addison going number 5 overall to the Chicago Bears. And while we can all admit and we can all recognize that Justin Fields needs some more weapons, Justin Fields has also not done himself any favors this season. And I just asked the question again, what does this regime think of Justin Fields? They didn't draft him. They didn't pick him. And then they went into the offseason and did not do anything to make this young man's life any easier. At least the Jets have surrounded Zach Wilson with talent. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are trying to put pieces around him. Trey Lance, the infrastructure is there. Mac Jones, they tried, abysmal try, but they tried to put some weapons around him. Chicago Bears gave Justin Fields, Velus Jones, Byron Pringle, and Equanimeous St. Brown and said, go make a salad out of this you-know-what. And listen, right now, he's last in time from snap to throw, 3.4 seconds. Justin Fields is holding on to the ball like crazy. Just for comparison, Tom Brady leads the league in snap to throw, 2.2 seconds. You know who second is? Davis Mills, getting the ball out in sub 2.2 seconds, sub 2.3 seconds from snap to throw. Justin Fields, 3.4 seconds. He's holding on to the ball way too long. He's got to be able to get that ball out. I'm just concerned that the Chicago Bears organization may have broken this young man. I believe he's got all the work ethic and talent in the world, but but I don't think Jordan Addison is going to solve the problems for the Chicago Bears. And I don't know if I'd pick a wide receiver this high, especially Jordan Addison. He is my one, but man, it seems like they can better use that draft capital in other places. I don't know who the top tackle is, or guard, or edge rusher, or cornerback, but I don't know if I'd be giving Jordan Addison a number 5 overall grade in the NFL draft. He's a talented receiver, seems a little bit high, and I don't know if this is what's going to help Justin Fields mature and develop any better. I guess you got to try something. Jordan Addison at 5 to the Chicago Bears. Now at 6, again, I don't care who you pick, just get a quarterback. Will Levis, Baker Mayfield, awful, dreadful for us in fantasy. He's a bad quarterback. Matt Rule hopefully will not be the head coach there in Carolina for long. We get a new regime, man. Get Will Levis in the building. Let's build around Will Levis, DJ Moore, and Christian McCaffrey. Now, at 9, another wide receiver being asked to fix some of the woes at quarterback. And it's not all the receivers. Mac Jones hasn't done himself any favors either. But Jackson Smith-Njigba to the New England Patriots seems like more of a move that I can get behind inside the top 10. Get you a wide receiver who right now is nursing a little bit of a hamstring injury, but we saw him go for 1,600 yards as a true sophomore. Hasn't done much of anything this season, and hopefully that hamstring injury doesn't linger as he moves forward. But he needs somebody. Mac needs somebody. JSN, probably best available receiver on the board. Sign me up. Let's get Mac some help. At number 10, this player has had a roller coaster season through 4 or 5 weeks. Anthony Richardson goes to the New York Giants, and I trust and believe in what Brian Daboll is doing with the Giants. He's got Daniel Jones actually playing decent football. You can't win a championship with Daniel Jones. I don't think he's some all-star type player, but he's looked better than he has over the past 3 years right now with the Giants. You get a talent like Anthony Richardson in there who probably isn't ready to take over right now. Again, find a bridge quarterback, let Anthony Richardson learn and develop, and put pieces around him. I believe in what the Giants are doing. I kind of like this fit for Anthony Richardson inside the top 10. You're betting on the tools, the traits, and the talent. No more tools, traits, and talent than Anthony Richardson. So let's ride. Anthony Richardson to the New York Giants. Let's get it. At 14, Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame to the Tennessee Titans. Sure. I thought Chiggy was all right. You know, he's a young, athletic tight end out of Maryland. It looks good to me. But Michael Mayer is a complete tight end, right? He can block, he can catch. He's not the most athletic. I just don't know if I'd be spending the number 14 overall pick on a tight end who's not Kyle Pitts. I don't think I can do it. And if this happens, it's going to inflate his ADP in rookie drafts, and I'm going to fade the hell out of Michael Mayer. Number 14 overall, Michael Mayer. At 16, I'm kind of shocked that he's still in the first round because he too has done absolutely nothing this fall. KeShawn Boutte, the wide receiver out of LSU. Common theme of this mock to mock, tools and traits, because I can't lean on production. I mean, he did it as a freshman 2 years ago, but so far, he was kind of good. He was good before he got hurt last year. Let me be fair to Boutte, but man, this season is not what we expected out of this player. Really hoping for more out of Boutte. Daniels hasn't done him any favors. Boutte hasn't done himself any favors. Jacksonville Jaguars here at 16. I'd rather take him at 16 than inside the top 10. That's where he was going in some earlier mocks. Jacksonville's playing good football, probably not picking inside the top 5, 6. KeShawn Boutte at 16, I'm willing to bet on the talent, and he would 100% be a first-round pick in rookie drafts. Boutte to Jacksonville. I like the fit. All right, let's move down the board a little bit and talk about tight end Darnell Washington, number 22 overall to the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't. I get that he's athletic. He's big. Hayden Hurst isn't the worst tight end. Is this what Joe Burrow needs? Does Joe Burrow need Darnell Washington at 22, who, again, has done nothing, no kind of production in college? And I know a lot of collegiate tight ends and production. That's not the best indicator of fantasy success. I'm just talking about the mock, and this just seems high for Darnell Washington. Maybe as we get closer to the process and see that the NFL covets him, his size. We also haven't seen a tight end this size really be a dominant producer in fantasy. I know Mo Alley Cox had a couple of touchdowns. Jelani Woods had a couple of touchdowns. Touchdowns are the least stickiest metric in fantasy. So at 22 overall, Darnell Washington, I don't really like it. I don't really like it. I've got to see more we'll see as the pre-draft process rolls around. Now, after that, we've got 2 more players, and good grief, he's still in round 1. Again, common theme of this episode, a lot of talent, a lot of hope, a lot of tools, and no production. Quentin Johnson, wide receiver out of TCU, 29 overall to the Kansas City Chiefs. I agree. They need a wide receiver. I don't believe Sky Moore is the future one in that office, nor is Juju Smith-Schuster. Everything is still flowing through Travis Kelce. But my God, Quentin Johnson has 9 receptions on the season. 9! I get it. He's big. He's athletic. He's a freak. But at some point, I've got to feel confident that this player is going to get round 1 draft capital. If you are a Kansas City Chiefs GM, fan, whatever, how can you justify taking this player in the first round? I just don't. I want him to be awesome. I like the talent of Quentin Johnson, but damn, I can't just like talent and just draft off of that. I don't know, man. There's still a little bit of season left to be played in college. Hopefully he can turn it around. But Max Duggan is balling. They're putting up a bunch of points and passing for a lot of yards. And Quentin Johnson seems like an afterthought. He had his best game of the season this past Saturday. 4 receptions, 40 yards. That's a first-round pick. I get it. Talent, tools, traits. At some point, some production has to line up as well. Quentin Johnson, number 29 of the Kansas City Chiefs. And to finally break my heart at the end of the mock, Philadelphia Eagles, with their 30th pick, select Bichon Robinson, the running back out of Texas. There's nothing to say. I mean, he's awesome. Bichon is great. Bichon is awesome. And if the Philadelphia Eagles add him to their offensive arsenal, good luck to the rest of the NFL. My favorite pick from Brentley's mock is honestly the 2nd pick overall. Bryce Young to Seattle. I like what they're building. I like the line. I like the weapons. Get Bryce Young in there behind Geno Smith, learn for a little bit, then take over. Would love it. He is the Chris Paul of quarterbacks. Point God, Bryce Young. Love it. Thank you for tapping into the station. Thank you for tapping in the channel. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button, like the content. Make sure you subscribe below. Link in the description. Read the entire mock from Brentley and his V2 of his 2023 NFL mock. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I'll be back next week with more Mock the Mock. I don't know who we got. I think it's Keith, my boy Joe Marino. We'll see who we got up next, but I'll be back next week. I'm out of this thing. Peace.